Hello, good evening and welcome. Here with Sandra, Stampin' with Sandra on Wednesday. Getting my days right. Apologies to anyone who logged in on Sunday and I wasn't there. I did put a notice up on Facebook, but I know some of you watch on YouTube. Anyway, we're back again today and I'm kicking off with, had a rather hectic weekend and my Saturday sketch didn't go up, but it was one of the three that I mentioned to you before. Hi Shaz, hi Maxine. So it's one of the sketches I was going to put up, so I'm going to do that as soon as I get off here tonight. But I thought I'd pull the graphic from the one I put up before, so I'm going to get you down to the table. Whoops a daisy. This was the sketch. If you can see that on the foreground here, this is my preview I put on Facebook. Can't get a preview onto YouTube unfortunately, but it's this one here with the eclipse circle and then some foliage around it. Okay, so that was one of the sketches I made up a while back and they were destined for this purpose. So this is where we're going to go. So I'm going to get you down onto the table and get you, there we go. We have a pad. The papers I was going to use tonight, I really fancied. I've got very little of this left. It is out of stock, but I still want to whet your appetite so that you're ready when it comes back into stock. You can see how little I've got in here. These are some little pieces. But hey, it's popular, which means we all love it. So the navy has got the cream and navy. I haven't got much of that one, have I? This one and that one in the navy and the cream, and then these two in the navy and cream. Okay, so we've got three designs. Unfortunately, I can't use much of that one, can I? I've got a little piece in here, just odd scraps. Desperate to get some more ordered. But hey, we're going to see how we go. So we're doing this, the eclipse card. I'm not sure what colourways, which way I'm going to do it yet. So let's move these to one side. If you have any preferences, cream or blue, and which pattern, let's call this the leafy, the, I don't know, the I don't know if it's filigree, and the stars. So have some comments coming up. I'm going to be chopping. Hi Angela, lovely to see you. I've got some cards in here, so hey, let's take a navy one there. I don't know if it's side or tent, it really doesn't matter. And let's see in my very vanilla if I've got any in the thick. Oh, that is coincidence. You know I put my spares in the back. That's just saved us a little bit of work. So we've got two different colourways here to go. We either go cream base or we go blue base. Okay, so I'm going to leave those there. This piece looks fairly similar to the size. This one couldn't always be cut, so you've got both alternatives. Okay, but I think it might be nice to use a different pattern. So I think we will keep with that one perhaps, and we will go with this one on here. How should we go for those? Yeah, because we've got the stars, unless we do stars on here. If you have any preference of those, do let me know. I kind of like the busyness of this one, and then we can put some accents. So let's go for these. So we're going to cut these down. The leafy one, yes, well done Zena. I've just seen your comment. Leafy Maxine's as well. Okay, so as you know, I like to go 1/2 centimetre in from the border. So I'm going to 10 centimetres this way and 14.3 this way. And those little pieces, you know I love to keep. You've seen me create with scraps. And I can't remember if I showed you before. I had a little aha moment the other day, and Angela's on here. I just saw Angela, I'm sure. Yeah, Angela's on here. She was with me when my aha moment happened. I was using, you know I like to recycle, I was using some waste product. Now, if you were at the show, you might have seen some of my samples, but you do know that I do like to play. So I'll come to that at the end. I have got the dish of my, yeah, it was over 600 pieces in there of waste, but I will come on to that at the end. So what my eclipse was, it was an eclipse of a circle and it's coming out of this side. So for my circles today, I've got ready the stylish shapes because these are gorgeous. And I'm going to take out a piece. So I'm going to cut this in a navy and a cream, vanilla. We leave this piece off. So it's up to you. They are beautiful papers, yes, Linda and Jane. But they are, I've just tried to put them through tonight again. They are still out of stock. So I'm going to do these. I'm going to do the next one inside it as well. There is a reason for this. So I'll take those two for now. We might come back for a banner in a moment. So let's do these. I've got my baby machine here. Okay, so I'll take the little babby out and my plates. I caught up today with a couple of ladies and very close, just around the corner, and just needed to give one of them a little bit of a lift, and she's not feeling very well, and we had a lovely time, and we met Monday and we agreed that today Sandra was going to make just one project for her to get back in the swing, and we had a fabulous time. So it was lovely. So I'm going to cut this one. It won't go through on that wide, will it? So I'll just take those bits off. So it's been really nice, but I had all my tools kind of in my caddy, so my tote that I took. So I'm going to pop that on there. I'm still using my split plate. It's still going quite nicely. I think I mentioned this before. When plates tend to split like this, they've come in at the ends, they will spray a little bit. So this, instead of going straight, that bit's out and this bit's out. You might be able to see, if I do this, and you'll be able to see where the edge of the paper is, you'll actually be able to see how much it's out either end. So, and this end obviously isn't straight either. So there's nothing wrong with that, because this machine has a good leeway either side. So Stampin' Up did a good job there when the designers did this, but it still keeps working. So I'm all for not throwing things away until I really have to. I'm doing the full circles on here for the time being. You could, if you had a piece of card that was just the right size and you were squeezing it into a gap, then by all means do. But I'm trying to show you how to create this. You'll see when I get to it. So these pieces will end up in my little scrap pot, so don't worry about those. I can go there. This one can come over. Keep that going through. Always wanted to do an eclipse card. It's so simple, Linda. You know me, I always show you the easy way to get around things. So this is where we are for now. So we've got this. These dies have got stitching all the way around them, little tiny holes all the way around, and they do like to cling to the die. So it's just a bit tough just getting them out. And if you find you've got any rough little edges around here, you know me, I always have a nail block on hand. So off the table, so I don't get dust everywhere, I just take those little wispy bits off. So I'll just do that on the floor so I don't get dust everywhere. Just run that round the edges. The nail blocks are available anywhere. Get them in a cheap shop, like Poundlandy type shops. Obviously I do the nails, so I have my old ones. When they're not good enough for nails, they're good enough for crafting. Okay, so that's those two run around the edges of. So I will need some more, but hey, we'll work at one at a time. So when we put this on here, we want to decide where we want to put it and how we want to stick it down. We can raise the whole thing, or we can stick the bottom one flat and then have this one raised. So, but the thing at the moment is to put a tiny drop of adhesive in the middle, and then we're going to guillotine them both together. So we could put, I've got my little caddy is, here it is. It's the tail end of one, isn't it, that? So I'm just going to take a little tiny piece of this and just adhere these together so that they're in the middle. Okay, attach them together, and then what we're going to do is take the mini guillotine and we're going to just chop a piece off. So it's up to you where you want to chop. Obviously I don't want to chop through the glue, so we want to keep the majority of it there. There's no straightness on here because it's all circles, and we're just going to chop. Okay, those two pieces will go in the bin. Can't do anything with those. And there we are. So this is one done. I'll come back to the other one a bit later, but this is our shape. So if we do the lighter bottom one first, so these can now be stuck down. So this one could be stuck flat, and then this one could be raised on the top of it, above that edge so the edges are hidden, okay? Or you can do the both together and upright like so. But we'll see how we get on with the decorating. And then we'll kind of need to do it with the other swap as well. So we need to swap those circles round. So we'll have a big one. It seems a bit thick, there's 2 pieces. And the smaller one on here. Okay, so bring those back up. Okay, so when you're watching my videos, if you are able and so wish, then it would be lovely if you could share my live. So if you share your the video to your friends, and then if they have got friends that craft, their friends will see it. We tend to always think, oh, I don't know anyone who crafts, but you'd be surprised that some of your people that are your friends with, their friends might just be a fellow crafter that you didn't know about. Okay, so if you can do that, that would be really, really good, and that would help me that little bit. And just push that away from there again. Okay, and that's one. And then this one on here. Just trimming this down again. Big scissors out. Excuse me, sorry. Take the big scissors because it's easier to get around there. And get that one cut as well. And we can mix and match and see which ones we like the best. Easier than better. You're fine, Linda. You've not been over recently, have you? You're due for a visit, I think. It's quite exciting today. I've been at home all the afternoon, and I still haven't unpacked yet from the weekend, from the show. All my boxes that came out of the car are just sitting at the front of the room, and I really need to get them unpacked. My intentions this afternoon were good, but they didn't happen. So we'll be doing that tomorrow, and we'll get the room ship shape again. There we go. So that's those two. So I'm just going to take them down and give them a quick cut so that they go like so. Nice even border, piece of tape, little guillotine. Doesn't matter how much you chop off, it's just an edge. That's it. Bin and keep. Okay, you're all keeping up at the moment. So that's how they'd look. And then we're going to want a little bit of foliage coming around there. So I was thinking, I have got some gold foil here. Now the gold foil is still current. It is still around. I have a little piece there, but I am going to have to cut into a big sheet. So, trimmer. But before I trim, I just need to know what size foliage I'm going to share. I'm getting a bit croaky, so apologies for that. I think I'm going to do these little ones here because I think they fit the sketch. I'm going to take that one out because we're going to need that. And we're going to need this one. I've been working with this with some of the greens and the reds. If you went to the show, you'll see I had loads of samples of the reds there. Jackie had been working with a daisy blocks. Just a sec. I really need to have that caddy on my desk permanently, don't I? Just grab those. We got quite a good combination because Jackie had been doing a lot of work with the blues that went with this one, with the Bethlehem set, and I'd been doing a lot of work with the reds and greens, so kind of like gave a nice balance there. So we're going to use this, and I'm going to stamp it in Versamark, she says, which I didn't take with me. So it should be on the table. Oh dear. This is the joys of having events, isn't it? And then everything gets packed up and then we don't know where anything is. We can pivot. We can pivot, so that's no problem. So we will pivot. And I'm going to show you another little technique. In the process, I found my tweezers, so hey, that was a good move. So I'm going to pivot. I was going to do it in Memento. I said Versamart, I meant Memento. And I was going to watercolour it. But instead, I'm going to stamp it in Night of Navy. Okay, we're going to have that on the vanilla. Just being effective, cost effective, economical with our cutting. And that is a beautiful stamp. It's so clear and so gorgeous. And I'm going to cut a second one, because I think going round here we could have like a couple of arcs round there. Okay, and because there's space on here, guess what? I'm going to fill it with a third one. Put one in there. In fact, I might get 4. Thrifty Sandra or what? Okay, it's just such a lovely clear image. Love it. Okay, we'll put those out of the way because I need to clean those. Might need that one again. I had my watercolour pencil, so we're going to do some watercolour pencils, but I think that will do us today. So we're going to come over here. I'm going to cut through here roughly, and then I will do what I want to do with them, and then I will die cut them afterwards. So, anybody got any guesses where I'm going to go? What I'm going to do with this? There's the die that's coming up in a second. I had a few bits out here. I need glasses, and there we go. And because you know me, my water, my Wink of Stella, I love these. I don't know how much water is in these ones because I was intending to use the watercolour pencils. I'm going to just come down here and I'm just going to drag that ink. Now you might need me to bring you in closer, just a sec. If I scroll you in like so, you can see that piece up there. So hey, let's see this one first. So I'm just dragging the ink with the nib here. Have I got a piece of kitchen roll? You don't want your brush to be wet, so you can use a paintbrush and water, just dry the nib so it's just damp. Okay, so if it leaks a little bit, then put it on there. Now I'm just, hopefully you can see this, I've got my hand out of the way. All I'm doing is dragging the ink from the centre here and pushing it around. Okay, and I'll work on some of the foliage first, these little ones in here. Okay, you can just stroke down the branches as well. Okay, so I'm going to bring down the ferns and out to the sides. I'll show you, just do this little area and I'll show you how that's making a difference. Okay, so there we go. If I bring that up to the camera, turn you around the right way, can you see how that's just dragging those inks in? No other colour, no other ink needed. Okay, so that's what I'm just attempting to do on here at the moment. Okay, so just spread that ink just to give it a little bit of base of colour. Okay, and these ones in the centre here. You've got the vein from the middle and you've got the outside ink. So all I'm doing is just picking that up. If you've got some accents you'd like to do a little bit darker, you can always go to the ink pad. Don't put your empty Wink of Stella onto the ink, onto the pad, just squeeze the lid or tap it onto an acrylic block, one of the Stampin' blocks. Okay, and just colour in as much as you'd like to colour. Okay, there we go. We've got quite a few bits coloured in there. I just thought this was going to be a really nice finish, but I was going to do it in the colours, but with watercolour pencils. As both my mementos are hidden. Okay, that's kind of with all the foliage done, just apart from the, oh, sorry, I came off camera there, apart from the berries. Okay, so it's just monotone, okay, monochrome, monotone. So I'm just going to do some more on the branches down here and just colour in the berries. Again, just bringing that in. We don't want them to be, sorry, I'm off camera, let me move. Can you see me now? So I'm just colouring those in. There we go. Just those little branches, and just bring those stems down. It just gives it a little bit more body. A bit down there. Colour these in. Okay, so that could be one coming round there. We might only need 2 actually. So let me just go on this one quickly. So I'm coming down the foliage branches and the feathery bits, down the foliage and feathery bits, and then up here, down the foliage and feathery bits. You can still see me. Yep, and foliage and feathery bits. Okay, so they're the main pieces. Then I come back to the holly, go for the main focal points first. Like I say, there's enough in here, enough damp that's just going to colour that in for you. And holly here, down the vein, push it around. And the same on that one. And there. Now these ones haven't got so much ink in, but there's enough in the brush and around the edges. Just bring those stems down and in there. So I'm doing this very, very quickly. You could take your time with it. Bring that stem, colour those in there. A little bit of holly up to the top here with the bigger branch, the bigger leaves, and that one. Like I said, I'm just pushing this around. I'm not taking a lot of care with it. Just doing it quickly. A little bit of branches there. Colour in the berries. And we're nearly done. Okay, so it's just giving you a little bit of feeling for that. And that's the second one. Slid that off the mat. There we go. So it's just got some nice colour. Clever technique. Well, I've hardly touched my kitchen roll there. I've just literally that just from that doodah from the Wink of Stella. So I'm going to cut these two out and start building one and see what that looks like. The second one we might want to do different. Okay, there's little bits of sparkle in there. So I'll zoom you out. Okay, no, this way. Come on, get back to the table. Come on, little camera. There we go. There we go. So I'm just going to pop this on here. Need a couple of bits of tape. Because we've done the work on it, we want to just make sure it's anchored down properly. So I'm going to pop this on here. And I hope you're staying with me to the end because I've got a lovely surprise with the piece that I'm a little bit an aha moment. Got a visitor arriving tomorrow, Maxine. I wonder who that could be. Nice surprise. There we go. I'm going to pop that on there. If you have this set, you can have a go with it, can't you? I'm sure there's going to be some crafting done. Okay. Just line all those little pointers up. That one's just in the stalk at the end, and then I'll line it up on the top. Okay, just a couple of points, and once they're lined up, the rest just falls into place. Okay, I'm going to go with the two for now, and we'll see how we go. And if we need the third, then we can. Put that back over there. So I'll pop this one out of the way for now, and then this one is back on track here. So this is just going to go down normal. Tomboed that I put in my travel kit, but I'll see if I can get one of these working. Yep, there we go. Just around the edges. These foils, these particular ones, have a plain backing on them. So the navy and the gold and the cream ones, they all have, they're just one-sided. So you can't see the, there's nothing on the back, it's not double, but they're really pretty. They are definitely worth it. I can't remember how many sheets came in that pack. Have a look, put it on here. So you get 6 sheets, so you get 2 of each of the designs. A cream and a navy on each one. So there's our base down. So just want to see how these can work. I want this one to be raised, so I'm going to get my dimensionals. Yeah, they've gone. I'm just on minis tonight. Oh, I could use the black ones. Here we go. I've got some standard ones in here, and these are the black ones. You know, I always forget to use them. She says. I'm very low on them, aren't I? They're all, I've all got minis tonight, so let's get the tweezers. And I'm just going to pop these on here, just a few coming round. Oh, you need to be on the other side. I'll cover that one up with something in a sec. So yeah, make sure where you've got your stitching, you put these on the back of the item you're sticking. Okay, and maybe one in the middle, just a little one. And when you peel the backings off of these are the black ones, you peel the backs off and they are actually black inside, which is really good for dark colours. And it's one of those things I forget to use quite often until after the event. So I'm going to use it on here and line those two straight sides up. Okay, we want it to be nice and even all the way around. There we go, and we've got an eclipse round there like so. So you could do it on the edge of the card, or you can do it in line with the pattern paper. Tonight I'm going to do it in line with the pattern paper. And I'm just going to turn this over with my tweezers, adhesive on the back, good old Tombow, and then lay that on there. I like to go like a third of the way down rather than all the way. There we go. So if we go for a couple of these pieces, we've got coming round here, kind of could have them half in, half out, maybe. And this one here. Can you remember oh yes, they'll easily do on there, won't they? Doesn't have to cover the whole thing. I'm going to put you back to the sketch so that you can just see where the sketch was. It's the little image in the corner, unfortunately, but you can see how they could work. You're kind of framing that section. So we can have kind of some underneath, just the edges coming over. Okay, like so. Bring you back to me. So I can see that can have, like there, I can tuck these ones underneath and just some tiny pieces coming over, and then these ones coming round here as well and overlapping. So this will be flat and that piece will be raised. Okay, like so. So we want to put some dimensionals around this piece, around the arc at the bottom here. But anything goes, it's just a sketch and it's just a shape. So it is just putting a little bit of flair to it and decide what you want to do. So I'll stick those on. Flip those out of the way. And Tombow on here. Flip it over. So I'm going to tuck these underneath and then have these pieces over the top. Like so. So that's lifting up there, and then these ones will be lifting up on top of there to give it some dimension. Okay, so we've got a little bit of an eclipse. You can still see some of the stitching, but this end will have the 3D. There, I'll put 3 on there, keep that end raised up. And stick this end down. There we go. So just give it some dimension. Okay, this could even go underneath, under that ridge. It will. I'm trying to get that leaf under, that one over, that one under. There we go. So it just frames that a little bit there. Okay, so these ones here are raised. Can you see that? These ones are raised, and these ones, I might bring it around a bit more actually. So you've got those just kicking in. Can be any eclipse that you want it to be. You can play about with it a little bit more and just kind of get a shape coming around there. Okay. Now the greeting I wanted to use tonight was from the truck bundle. She said underneath. There we go. The truck bundle, the greeting in here, festive, wishing you a festive Christmas. It's a really, really nice sentiment. Okay, and I've used it quite a bit. This is the truck bundle, is in the online exclusives. It's got the punch that goes with it. The punch will cut the truck out, and I've done some cards with that. I took them today. They're in my bags, but we did take a couple of samples. Oh, there's one. Oh. I'll show you him in use. So that's the actual truck here, and this is when I did it on live with the wide tape over it, so it looks glossy and shiny to get that sheen to it. So but that's a nice set. It's still in the online exclusives over here in the UK, so hopefully if you're looking for that set you can find that. If anyone is looking to place an order, I have got an order going through this evening when I come off air. Definitely cards to be made. I'm so pleased to hear that. Love to give this a go. Whilst on holiday, a couple of cards. Kit, well done. Excellent. That's the idea. That's a great idea with kits. Yeah, they're good for taking on holiday. So I'm just looking around me to see where I put my vanilla scraps. So this is my big pot here. I'll just look through and find one that's kind of reasonable for me to be able to stamp this on. If I'm lucky, I might not have to trim them much. So these little sections in here look pretty good. Okay, but because we've used the stitch dies, you know what I fancy? I fancy using that die out of here. Come back, and put the circles away. So the stylish shapes, just hang that elastic band up on my stand. Tiggs loves anything that is like the latex, the bands, and the elastic bands. He loves those and he will run off with them. And I just don't like the thought that he might choke. So I have to be very careful with those. He's like a little magpie, bless him. And he'll go pitter-patter off with them. I've got a feeling that might fit into that die. So what we're going to do is we'll stamp it first using the Night Navy. Put somewhere safe. Okay, and there are more than one strips of those, so I'm going to put that there and do 2. So I'll stamp that there. Can you order me, please, which the truck bundle? It is gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. I love it. I need to do some more playing. I just did not enough hours in the day. Just stamp that one there. There we go. Lovely and clean. Look how clean those greetings are. Really, really sweet. I think I'll just touch my thumb on the ink. So they can go away. And all of this is kind of fairly monochromatic. It's just that one ink pad, one colour. And it's doing nicely, isn't it? So I'm going to tape this down on here so it doesn't move. And it's just going to be enough because there's no tails on the festive Christmas. There's no tails underneath that. So we just want to get it in straight and the tape on either end. I thought I had some here. I'm going to have to just line that up again. One piece there, one piece there. Okay, let's see if I can just get those. So there's no tail. So when you line these up, you just have to make sure that it's straight and that you've got no tails hanging. If you've got like a, you know, like a letter with a tail on it, you just have to make sure that that's not going to be chopped off. Okay, out of the way. So this is going to come through there. And there's my beautiful sentiment. Sorry, you can't quite see the bottom of the screen there. So wishing you a festive Christmas. I'm really pleased to know that that fits in that shape because they are scraps I'm using up and that fitted on there just nicely. So you see that on there. So there's no tails on there. Just make sure it's in the middle. Wishing you a festive Christmas. It's a really nice one. You could cut your dies first, but because when they're close like this, I always think it's better to stamp first and die cut after. Okay, take that one out. I'll put that on the edge of the trimmer there. And next time, it's my other card. Okay, so pop that with the packet so I don't lose it. And then if I bring my card back, what I'm going to do here is literally have that just coming through there, but I'm not quite finished. I might have that at the top actually, so I've still got the 3D here. I like that sentiment, just kind of coming in there. Let me just straighten my mat up. I don't like crooked. Okay, so that's going to come there, but remember I had the gold out, the gold foil, because that matches here, and I wanted to cut some little filigree pieces. So I'm just going to look through these and see what I've got to cut some filigree from. So we have In this one, I have some big branches on here. Okay, so we've got little bits there. And then on this one, Christmas Classics, I have some little ones like these. The holly leaves are a bit too big in this one, I think. There, sorry. These ones would work nicely. And this fern might be a bit heavy with these. So I think these are going to be delicate. When they're cut out, they look quite sweet. So let's go with those. And then bring the little cutter back up. He's earning his keep tonight, isn't he? Okay, so we've got a piece of foil here. You know I always say to cut round these just so that you've got the piece you're cutting. Okay, if you're not, you'll get all the scratches from on this plate will all impregnate on here and get lots of scratchy lines, and it'll spoil the nice glossy effect. When they go through like this, the die is protecting them so it can't actually get all those scratchy bits. And even this can be used as a scrap for something smaller. Okay, so that will go back in the packet. Thrifty Sandra. Okay, so we'll have those and see how we go. Just a little foliage to pop underneath our sentiment. That's all I'm looking at. Now, when I came in here earlier, this room was really freezing cold, and now I'm getting warm, and I've only got a little tiny thin jacket over me. So, hey, it's good that it's warmed up. Okay, so these just need to come off the plates now, and I'm just going to wiggle these. Just wriggle them all the way through so that they all come away. I think they are cut through on here. Look, they are there. Sometimes it's easier from the back. Can you see? Just making sure that they've all gone all the way through without breaking any of the stems off. Okay, so that's coming through. That one's gone. Might need a little helping hand. Maybe I should have cut these twice. They are cut through, it's just, there we go. It's just getting a little bit tricky on the back there. Yeah. I don't want to tear them, that's the trouble. Just bringing away the little pieces around the side. Just helping ease that out, or tease that out, should I say. There we go, it's coming. Just in that corner piece there. There we go. Okay, glasses down, and I might need the scissors. Just see if there's any little pieces where that's just cut at the bottom there. It hasn't quite come out in the corner. Okay, so take that out. There we go. These pieces might just come off with tweezers actually. I'm reluctant to put the die back on and have another go, because sometimes if you do that you get like a shadow and you end up making a double cut. You can't line them up perfectly, even though I can see the dents on here. So just be mindful of that. The scissors will help you. And of course the middle pieces just need pushing out. Okay, they are the middle sections. Of course it is very tricky. I can do that, it is there, but I don't want to waste your time. All I'm going to do is just poke all of those pieces out. So let's see if this one's any better. Get the spatula. If not, I might make another. Look at that one, totally the opposite, it's just fallen out. There we go, side by side, exactly the same plates. There we go, and it's out as easy as anything, which is very good. So let's poke these last two pieces out. Yeah, the track bundle. Okay, I'll pop that on tonight. Like I say, it's just ready to go through. I just sort of hang around just to see if there was anything else I remembered I needed to order. Okay, and of course the papers I've been promoting that are £5.20 instead of £13. They are the gorgeous ones I'm going to show you at the end, and just the cards that I've been making with it. I have got a class, one more class, definitely with a date. I will do another one as well. So it's just a case of seeing what dates everybody's free. So the idea of this, I was just going to pop this underneath the sentiment, just to have a little bit of foliage coming out somewhere like so. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet. I kind of want to make a feature of it. This is definitely going to go on foam pad, so let's get that done first. I pop 3 of these. I won't take them off yet. I don't know where I'm going to put them. Okay, so I think that one's got to go in there. It's slightly raised, and then this one could come underneath. Where do I want to put it? I can see the idea, but I could come in there, couldn't I? How would that look? And then coming in that way, perhaps. Just so there's a little bit of gold in there as well. That's all I wanted to have. So then that could come there, and it's still just on the edge of that card. I like that. So I'm going to put that one down. So we remembered where that went. It's just about placing. I like to place things so that I know where I'm going to put them. Okay, so it's just going to poke out there like so. And then take these off. And I was worried about all the big navy. When you do dark colours, you don't need to fill the whole space. So like this, I was going to put it at the top. Now I'm putting it down here. Just a little bit of gold, top and bottom. And this is going to hang off the edge, but it's within the edge of the card. If that makes sense. There we go. So there's our card with just a little bit of glimmer on there. Like the nesting shapes as well. Yes, they are. They're really nice. I'd get the track bundle for now. Spread out your spending because they are in the online exclusives. They could disappear at any time while stocks last. So you don't know when they're going to come back. So I would get those ones now. The stylish shapes are in the annual catalogue. So they will be here for the rest of this annual catalogue. So we're there for a little while. So I wouldn't worry as much about those ones. Okay, then it's just finding some nice gems to go in here. It's got to be these ones. Now, these are the festive pearls. They come in the 4 different colours. Mine have been used and abused, and I am losing pieces off here. I did a class and I had strips for various classes. And unfortunately the strips have got a little bit mangled. Okay, so this is my set to use up. One of those has come off there, but I'm going to use these loose ones because I want to clear up these odd bits first. So just slide them on there, and I'm going to get my tweezers. So these are perfect. They are bright and they're shiny gold, so these can come in here. There we go. Something on my tweezers. Okay, and I'm going to be generous with these. I'm going to do 5. 1, 2, 3 down the bottom there. Oh, do I need? I don't want to put a bit on the berries because that stayed behind. Right there we go. So we've got 3 on the actual card, like so. Okay, if I put them on here, they'll probably get lost, and I don't want to put any on the berries because the berries. The only way I could do this, if you've got your gold embossing powder, and then you could actually touch these with the re-inker for the Versamark, and you could touch each of these berries. Haven't got the heat gun out tonight, but I'll do it another time. Touch each of these with the Versamark refill, just put a little dot in the middle, sprinkle the gold powder over and make little gold berries. I could leave that and do that on, I'll do that on another card, a different design, on Sunday. Okay, I'll add the nesting dies ones to my list in my little book. Yes, definitely, that's a good idea, Linda. So I'll leave the 3 on there. I think the 5 might spoil it because they will get lost in this pattern. Okay, so I'm just thinking about time. I'm 10:02, so I don't know if you want to, who's going to stay around if I do the other one and just finish the other one off. Okay, I'll leave that one there. Oh, and I was going to show you the ones from the other night, wasn't I? So I've been showing you these. I might have shown you this one already. Let's just take those off the mat. This one is from the papers. That is the Christmas time is here, and these were from 2019. They are in our clearance rack. Fabulous offer. All these little strips are leftover pieces. Okay, I have shown them on previous videos. I love using the scraps up. So this one here is fabulous. But what I did at the weekend, the cracker die. Okay, the cracker die, I cut loads of crackers out for the make and take at the weekend. Can you see all of these pieces? All of these loose little pieces, look, fronts, backs of 3 different patterns. So there's 6 patterns and a whole big pot here. Now I worked out, I'd cut over 60, 65, 70, something like that, of the cracker dies. And on each die, you get 10 pieces that are a diamond shape, like these. Okay, so that shape, you've got a lovely diamond. Okay, and I was just popping them out into the pot and thought, oh, I'll just put them in there for now. I knew I've been keeping the plain card ones if I make some crackers. But with all of those pieces, I just had to make a card. So, are you ready? This was the card that I made, okay, with the waste pieces, okay. All those scraps, wow, yes, because I cut the crackers out. You can get 4 crackers from one sheet of 12-inch paper. And I thought that would be a nice make and take at the show on Sunday instead of a card. So I sat and die cut them all out. I still had a 2-inch strip down the whole sheet that was spare. And all of these little pieces out of the crackers fell out. And I just popped them into a pot to keep my table clean. And then before I went to bed, I thought, oh, and I just laid some out in a little harlequin pattern like this. Yes, Sandra, you know you were there on Sunday. This card was on the display table. And so when you made up the crackers, all I did was start through the middle. On the back of the note card, the other side, I just went a little tiny pencil, some little dashes through the middle, hoping that they would avoid the pieces at the end, which they did. It wouldn't have mattered because I put the greeting on there. So all of these pieces, the first line were there, starting in the middle and coming out. I then fed the others in the top and the bottom and kept building. And then when I got to the little tiny pieces on the bottom and the top, I cut them in half. So say you had one of those, I literally cut through the widest piece and put a dot of glue in these sections at the top and at the bottom, and then just laid it on there. And then this was a separate layer. This piece here was a separate layer, and I guillotined all the offcuts off the edges so it fitted. And that was a real aha moment. And if Angela's still on here, Angela was here when I was sticking them down and had my little aha moment. Okay, but that is what you can do from scraps. So not only is it £5.20 for the whole pack, 12 sheets of 12 by 12, you will also, I wonder what that was, it's my necklace, necklace on the table, 12 sheets of 12 by 12 at £5.20. You also can make 4 crackers for each one, so that's 48 crackers out of a sheet, and you get a 2-inch strip down the edge that is extra that you can use on cards. And then all my little tiny scraps I used onto this one. Okay, I have written, I'm in the process of writing the class. The class is, let me bring it back to you. Would love to do that, but wouldn't know where to start. Well, you can, because I'm doing a class for you. So let me just bring me across up here. There you go, then you can talk to me instead of the table, the blank sheet. Okay, so I have got a date in the diary already for one class, but I'm going to be adding more on. So if anybody is here and wants to do it, then that's step 1, because you've got me and you can do it in person. Then the other one is to do it by post. Yeah, there she is, Angela's there. I love it, so beautiful to use offcuts that would normally be thrown away. Absolutely. And Helen stood at the show and she said, I'd have put them in the bin. So yeah, that's one for you to do maybe when she comes to visit, if you've got the cracker die. Okay, Harlequin's fabulous, isn't it? Oh, bless. It's not better, it's just different. It's just using up waste that, just went in a pot, and I thought they're just too good to throw away. I worked out, because I cut 60 odd, I must have, there's 10 on each cracker, there's 5 each end of the cracker, whole ones, and I must have had over 600 pieces in there. Obviously it's used quite a few on there, there's quite a few shapes in the middle of there. Okay, but it's still what would have been thrown away, and it's stuck on a piece of white card and stuck on a card, a little greeting, and you're done. No, Helen Smith, save scraps. Absolutely, well done. It's great. Okie doke. So I'll leave you with that today, and I will see you on Sunday. Okay, and we'll have something else up my sleeve for Sunday. I have got a new delivery. I've got 2 boxes down there that have caught up, that came today, that I need to unpack in the morning. And so we'll see what goodies I've got in there. A lot of patients, it wasn't that bad, Linda. Tweezers. Tweezers are your action. These are your best friend, okay? So you know me and my tweezers, okay? And Tombow. Okay. Anyway, that's one to look forward to. Anyway, the class will be by post as well, because I've got some customers that can't make it, so they would like to have it by post. So I will be writing the tutorial, finishing. I've got some bits written, finish that, and then get that up on social media so that you can get cracking for Christmas. Okay, it's good saving. Why I homed in on it was because of the current economy, people's purse strings, and everything going up in price. For that to be such a bargain and to be able to make so many cards and projects from that one pack, and it's a lot less. It must be at least 60% off, so it's a good bargain. I have got another 12 ordered, so 12 packs, so I've got more coming. I'm going to put a few more on tonight, and yeah, so I will have a good supply. Okay, so for people to do the classes. Okay, so leave you there and say hi and bye, and I will see you on Sunday. Take care, and it's the last day of the free posting today, which is why the order's going in tonight. So if anyone's got anything they want to just slip on there, I need to get it through by 10:30. Okay, so I'll be doing that.